We set off from Viner Sound on what we thought would be a quick dinghy trip to explore the Burdwood Group, but it turns out our little boat wasn't built for real seas. What started as a calm cruise turned into a soaking wet emergency landing on a restricted island. And that was just the halfway point. From culturally modified trees to old homesteads and moonshiner history, this one's got a bit of everything, including a very wet lesson learned. Good morning, everyone. We are heading to the Burdwood Group today. We're going to go see if we can find some village sites, a really old, very cool, culturally modified tree, and some homestead sites. Who knows? We've never been there before, but you're coming along for the ride. First, we've got to get Punga in the water, and Blaine is undoing all the straps, putting the plugs back in, and we're off to be intrepid explorers. Can we call that?
Yeah, that's fitting.
But first, we're going to put the crab trap down.
With the wind not blowing, it's almost warm. And we're at January, like 7th, I think, today or something like that. Like it should be cold, and it's not cold. The wind gets it chilly, but when the wind stops, it's not bad at all out here.
No, I think the wind's coming off those snowy mountains up there.
That probably doesn't help the warmth much.
No. So we're also going to go into there, right into Viner Sound, because you know there's an old railroad track that runs along the left side?
I did not know that.
I actually think it starts from the village site that was just in that little cove right there. Cool,
Let's do it. It's pretty close.
I am definitely going to make some proper straps for Punga.
Yeah.
Once we get them all measured out.
Well, it's pretty close the way it is now.
Because I think Punga's our dinghy of choice now, eh? She's going to last us many, many years.
Once we get the side lockers sealed up a bit better and a bilge pump in here, we're pretty happy.
Really happy. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, going right. Maggie, get out of here. You dummy
Silly
dog.
You're a silly dog.
Maggie. Boat would have pushed you overboard. Got the boat. Blaine runs down and he catches it, basically. Good job, Blaine.
Good job, Janice.
Woohoo! Okay, I gotta go get some stuff inside first before we head out.
Okay.
Plus, Maggie needs her life jacket on and her winter jacket. Okay, I've got the crab trap ready. I might actually add some oil to it this time. But we've got a good chunk of chicken in there. Everything's closed up, looks good. These all work. And we saw a whole bunch of crab traps up in front. Like there's one there. There's Tonga. There's one up in front of Tonga. So I'm thinking we put it up by Tonga. What do you think?
Sure. You just let me know where.
I just want to put some oil on the chicken also. Got some good stinky stuff. It says crab. I don't know. Crab crack? I don't know what it is. Crab something or other.
Is it crab crack from the crab shack?
Sure. That's what we're going to put on it. See if we can catch some dungeons.
All right. You point the way.
I don't know. There's a crab trap. There's a mooring over there. So maybe just there, opposite, between this one and that shore?
Okay.
What do you think?
Works for me.
I almost feel like a warm wind sometimes.
Yeah. It's wild.
It is weird out here. Like sometimes there is seriously a warm wind. Gorgeous. For January. Crab crack. I don't want to put it on in the boat though because it stinks.
Yes, please. Please no crab crack in the boat. Oh, that is a lot of
Crab crack.
crab crack.
Oh. Okay. Come on, baby. Still sinking. How deep is it here?
I think it's like 30-something feet. Or no, deeper than that. I think it's like 60 feet in the middle.
I think we're on the bottom now. Yeah, we are. Okay, we're good. Ugh. Ready? Go get crab!
Good luck, Trap.
Good luck. Okay.
Now?
It was fun. I hope we catch some crab. For the past couple of weeks, we've been exploring the Broughton Archipelago at the northern end of Vancouver Island. It's winter, so there's barely another boat around, and most marinas are shut. But honestly, it's stunning up here. We've now found ourselves anchored in Viner Sound on Guilford Island, the winter home to trumpeter swans that come here when the lakes freeze over. It's also the perfect jumping off point to explore the Burdwood Group Conservancy, an area rich in First Nations history and cultural significance. Out of respect, we won't share those stories here, as they belong to the nation. So we've been reading a book by Yvonne Maximchuk and Billy Proctor about this area, and we're looking at one of their maps. And in this little bay, supposedly there was a First Nations village. So we're just going to pop into this little bay off of Viner Sound. And then there was also an old railroad for the logging, and supposedly an old smokehouse. So that's what we're going to explore first to see what we can find. There's also a mooring in here, which is kind of cool. And another maybe crab trap? I don't know. But there was a railroad that ran all the way along that side of the bay. So much history around here. I can see why there'd be a First Nations village in here. It's quite protected and calm.
Oh yeah, you're not going to get anything in here.
Pardon?
Not going to get anything in here.
What do you mean, anything?
Wind, weather, totally protected. Wasn't it kind of like over in this corner over here in the picture?
Yeah, well, let's run along this shore, and then we'll just do the whole shore, and then we'll follow the shore all the way down towards the estuary. What do you think?
Sounds awesome.
Let's do it. And that should run us parallel to where the railroad tracks used to be for the logging. But you can just imagine the history of the First Nations having such a vital settlement here. And usually, and we are not historians, get it straight, this is just what we've read and try to retain, is usually there's middens. So when you see the big white shell beaches, that's middens, and that's left from the First Nations villages. I think the First Nations were here 8,000 years ago. And we have seen so many culturally modified trees where they actually strip the bark and make planks that we can't wait to show you a really big one today. Oh, look, there's like a little river coming out of there, Blade. You see it?
Well, that would be a nice place for a village then, wouldn't it?
It's beautiful right here.
Shallow.
Cute little river coming
so
down.
they would
Maggie's
have-
got to go pee. You want to put us right there?
There might be a better place up here.
Okay.
That's pretty rocky. This looks a little bit softer up here.
Oh, yeah. Maggie hasn't been to shore since like 2 nights ago. Oh, that is so pretty.
Yeah, so they got fresh water there.
Definitely fresh water. Yeah, Maggie's itching to go to shore here. Look at that big tree that came down. Hey, Maggie. Let's go to shore. Come on. Okay, I'm going to pop to shore with her.
Okay.
Hey, look at this big metal thing right here. Oh, maybe it's a rock. Just looks like rust.
This is definitely the place that I would set up a camp.
It is beautiful.
You got a rock wall over here for protection. You got a stream right over there for fresh water. And it's fairly flat area. It looks pretty ideal camp spot, in my personal opinion.
Well, it's a village.
Not that I create camps or villages, but
so there's this big log sitting here in the middle of this bay. And then you look closely and look at all the chains on it. So either they put a log boom onto it or it's there from way back when. I don't know, what do you think, Blaine?
I would say it looks like a pretty old log. We're well worn in with erosion.
Could it be way back from when they were doing hand logging around here and they got the logs in and they would wait like a month, 2 months, and they'd build up their big log boom and then they would go celebrate?
Maybe. It'd be purely conjecture on my part. That chain looks a little bit
old,
new for that.
Oh, new.
Well, the shackle is in fairly decent condition.
Cool.
Mind you, the chain is pretty heavily scaled. Who knows?
Well, there was a lot of logging here. So a railway ran all the way down this shore.
I wonder if maybe it's dead ahead of us there is where
let's
it
go
came
see.
down.
So our bet is that's the railway corridor that went just along the shore there. So little trees have grown up around it, but you can see the opening.
It would make sense that they would dump into this bay.
Totally
give them
makes
a
sense.
Spot to do a log boom in here and then tow it out.
Totally makes sense. Huh. You just imagine, like, that's got to be hard work logging way back when.
Hard work logging today.
They don't, well, they use helicopters today.
They do, yeah.
What's really neat about Viner Sound is swans make their home here for the winter. And you can see them in our drone shot, swans. And it's something you wouldn't really expect to see up here. I only ever really see swans in like decorative ponds and stuff like that.
True.
So to see them way up here and butt nowhere, can we call it that?
You can call
It's
it that.
pretty wild.
Quite
Okay,
the
we're
current
very
coming.
remote. To see them up here, very remote. So we are very shallow here.
And we also got a considerable current running
We
out.
do have quite a current running. But can you see the pilings up there? That's from the old railroad. And we were going to try and get up there, but it is pretty shallow. It's deeper now.
Well, keep it close to the shore where there seems to be more water here.
Seems to be more water near shore. There also used to be an old smokehouse in here that the First Nations used to use. And again, this is all from Billy Proctor and Yvonne Maximchuk's book, Full Moon Flood Tide. It's a cool book. Like, it's all of Billy's stories about growing up in this area, being a logger and a fisherman and stuff like that. So we're actually quite excited because we are going to meet him in the next couple of videos. Sometime
both
soon.
of them.
And Yvonne, yes, we're going to her studio. We've been invited for coffee, so it's going to be quite exciting to meet both of them. Look at that. Yeah, when we go to the Burdwood Group next, there's like 8 village sites. Ooh, that was bottom. That was just going over a tree, though. I don't think we're going to make it up there. But anyways, you can see the pilings over there of the old logging and railroad.
Yeah, definitely not going to make it right up to the pilings, but...
Punga's doing well. We never would have made it with our other dinghy.
Oh, no.
Blaine, I think we're pretty done.
I think we have reached critical depth.
Are we just going to drift out?
Yeah, for a moment. I don't want to suck up too much sediment.
We're not moving.
No, maybe on bottom.
I think we're on the bottom.
Trim the engine up a little bit.
And if you're wondering, we have a jet drive engine, which means we can usually get pretty shallow. Oh, there we go. Now we're moving. I think the engine was in the mud.
Well, yeah. I've totally plugged up the telltale again. Gonna have to tackle that. It sucked up some stuff.
It's so much fun.
Rooster tails.
That's one way to get out of the shower. You're hilarious. We are like really shallow. Okay, going closer to shore. That's better. Whew. Now watch out for that mooring.
Not much fun at all.
So what else we read is you can see the entrance into Viner Sound where Tongaroa is. This was the First Nations defensive site over here on this side. So they defended their other village that was in deeper by Tonga.
That's right. Had their artillery set up over here.
Artillery? Really? I think maybe the war canoes were there ready to go out.
Could be, yeah. That would make more sense.
But it's a good defensive position. There's a rock right there. There's a little cove in behind that rock. So you can just imagine. Okay, now we're going to head to the Burdwood Group of islands and see what we can find, including remains of a cabin and a big culturally modified red cedar. Lane's getting annoyed by the
really
motor.
annoying all the way there this way.
It's because of the waves or what? We're coming out of the water?
Yeah, the pump comes out of the water. The motor's got to go lower.
It's okay, I think we can handle it. Might be uncomfortable on the way back.
We're off of lane now.
Oh, I need to go forward again?
Yep.
I think we're both going to need Tylenol and Advil after this. We know what Punga's not good in now. Waves like this and chop. It likes flat, calm water she likes.
Never again in this boat. Not in this ship.
I don't even know what to say. Okay, but he buried the bow. Even the dog is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I got the full wave.
Oh, I did too.
That was fun. Oh boy. Oh yeah, you guys see how much water we have in the boat?
A little bit.
We're both soaked. My poor toque is like, woo! That was fun. I'm a bit scared going back because we're going to be going up those waves.
Yeah.
We were doing so well, it wasn't until the end that we buried the bow of Punga and took a whole wave right over. And it'd be okay if it was like warmer, but we're soaked. At least we have full foul weather gear on, and you've got another jacket to put on.
I don't have full foul weather gear.
But you could put that on.
I could, yeah.
Your poor microphone, the dead cat is like,
Yours too.
oh my god!
They probably can't even hardly hear us right now.
Oh my poor dead cat. Okay, we'll have to fix that for you. Oh, he just popped down. So this White Shell Midden Beach is one of the village sites. So all the white shells means it's a midden, and it's all left over from the First Nations. And it looks like there's an outhouse up there. But after Blaine and I just drenched ourselves, we're going to come into this beach and just take, what's the word? Take inventory of what's going on. Woo! We may be waiting over here until that calms down. Because that was crazy. Even poor Maggie's like, what the? Okay. Maggie's like, I'm out of here.
It's like, you guys be crazy.
You guys be crazy. Look at all the shells. Well, we've taken inventory.
We're wet.
It's salty. Think of the stories, though.
Oh, yeah. Came up a wave, and I mean, I knew that the boat was going to be like this because it rides so low in the bow, but it just buried in the next wave, and it was like this giant wall of water right over the front of the tender.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
I just took it right in the face, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Everything's soaked. So we've taken our jackets off right now. Everything's drying, and we're just going to explore this island a little bit. There's a cool cabin right there for camping. And then we'll figure out what our next plan is. But I still think that we're a bit more protected here in the islands, that we can go to the culturally modified tree and the ranch over there. But we got to figure out how we're going to get back across the sound.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of sending Blaine back to go pick up the big boat.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Okay, let's go explore, because this is a cool island.
I think we'll just have to take it slow.
Very slow. Maybe along the shore, not straight across.
Yeah.
Wow, this is cool. I don't know, Maggie's pretty soaked too. Maggie, you want your jacket? Like, no, we'll just stay like that. Look at this midden.
Fine.
This white shell beach is beautiful.
Yeah.
So you can see all the layers in here of the First Nations artifacts and stuff like that. That's all archaeological sites. See this? I need to go up here. You can see the deepness of the shells. That's a midden, so that's just left over from thousands and thousands of years of First Nations having a village site here. And it wasn't actually a village site. From what I understand, this was a defensive island for them. After taking off our wet clothes and wandering the beach to dry off, we spotted a sign that said restricted access. We hadn't seen anything online about this island being off limits, but the moment we saw that sign, we threw our soggy gear back on, drained Punga, and got out of there.
100% sink right away, but...
No, but our bit of a worry with this dinghy is if we do bury the bow and we fill with water, she's going to sink.
Yep.
So we got to be very careful with that.
That's one of the reasons why I want to seal up those side cabinets really well.
Yeah,
so they're kind of auxiliary flotation.
Or even fill them with foam, I would, or something. I don't know.
It could be something.
But on our way back,
different.
we're definitely going to take it easy and hit the shore and go along the shoreline.
Yeah.
We've got to do some exploring, even though we're a bit damp. That's okay, because really, we're not going to get here again. So let's go see what we can find. Oh, tide's going down. Punga's getting a little bit high and dry. It's raining a bit.
Raining a lot more.
Whew. Okay. So Punga is hard to haul off the beach.
Back in Super Soaker 2000.
I think we need wheels to put on her.
Yeah.
She is heavy once she gets beached.
Problem with the wheels is you have to put them on and put them down before you go into the beach. Otherwise you can't get them down. So
Makes sense.
You have to have them down when you go on the beach.
Yeah, think about that.
And they stick down pretty far, so be interesting. They would hit bottom probably before.
I think it's fair to get the anchor buddy on this boat to get it all set up with it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go explore. Where are you gonna put her?
Same spot. I'm just trying to get around this rock here.
Yeah. You want me to come help?
No, you're good.
Maggie, come here. You can do it. So the flagging tape comes from over there. So I'm wondering if we were just cutting into the trail here.
Oh, maybe.
Oh wait, I got blue tape, Lane.
Sweet.
I like blue tape. Okay, here we go again, following tape. You know what happens when we follow tape.
Well, hopefully not the same thing that happened last time we followed tape.
This looks like a trail though. I definitely think this is it. Wow.
Yeah, you can see a sharp edge at the bottom there.
So this is a pretty special culturally modified tree
Oh, yes, indeed.
because they've actually done two sides. So if you're wondering what this is, they used to cut planks out of here with stone axes and U wedges, Y-E-W. But they would take the planks out of the tree and they'd keep the tree alive because you see how it's kind of fixing itself. But let's see, because there's two sides to
This
tree
side
that
is
they
much
took.
cooler.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. You can actually see the hue marks at the top.
Whoa, that's cool.
Maggie.
Look at that. Oh yeah, you can see the stone axe marks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty
That's
amazing.
very cool. That looks like hard work. Stone axes, cutting out planks like
Oh,
that.
can you even imagine?
And to show you exactly how big this tree is, I had to stand by it. And take note, I'm 5'9". And it wasn't long before we found another tree stump that had man-made notches in it. I think these notches are for the loggers who would put their boards in there and stand on the boards, and the weight of them on the boards would hold the boards in place, and then that gave them something to stand on to chop the tree down. We headed back to Punga after checking out the culturally modified red cedar, and she was right where we left her. Maggie made the jump thanks to her handy life jacket handles, basically a dog-shaped purse. Around then, we realized Blaine's mic had died. Turns out saltwater electronics aren't friends, so I'll be jumping in with some voiceovers for the rest of the video. Sorry. So, there's also two village sites on this island, but we're going to go around the back and in to go find where the old homesteads were. You can see the white shell beaches. And over on this island was a horse logging road that came out. And again, this is all information from full moon and flood tide. All Billy Proctor's stories. It's going to be cool to meet him and Yvonne who wrote the book. That's beautiful. Going in. It's a beautiful little cove. This might be where we sit and rest for a while. We figure out how to get back across.
Keep a very close eye on the tide.
Oh shit! What was that?
Big ass fish.
Did you see that?
That was huge.
Whoa! What was it?
I have no idea.
I think I caught it. That was a really big fish. Punga actually has wheels. I think we're almost too shallow.
Yeah, we're too shallow. Not even close.
We gotta get back out there.
They're not gonna work.
What?
They're not gonna work.
No?
No, because it shallows up so slowly. We're gonna be way off the board before that. Like, it's this deep and it's too shallow
True.
for
Well,
putting them on.
do you want to put her there, not up in there, the dinghy?
Yep.
Okay. Do the other side now?
Yep. Oh, this one doesn't have as much.
No, because it came over the port side that way. So from what I understand, where we are right now was the site of the homestead of the first European named Guy Lawson. And that was in the early 1900s. Him and his wife homesteaded here before they said enough, well, before they had enough, and they put their house on to a barge and moved it over to Bond Sound. See remnants of stuff over there. So from what Billy Proctor says, in the 1930s, a guy named Gene Hargraves moved here, and he was kind of a funny guy. He's actually a blacksmith, and he kind of cooked his own moonshine. His basically clientele for the moonshine was hand loggers who would, you know, every month, 2 months, they made their big log boom after logging for so long, and then they would celebrate that their log boom was ready to go to market. So they would come and buy Gene's moonshine. And let's just say one night, from what I understand, there was a bit of a party. One guy got really drunk. There was a bit of a fight with Gene. Gene got out the shotgun, shot at this guy who was drunk on his moonshine. Didn't kill him, but scalped him. So Gene was very scared that he was going to get in trouble with law enforcement. What he did, though, is he took the guy, took him home, nursed him back to health, and luckily no law enforcement was involved. But you know what? Great story. So you can just imagine all that history happening right here. So much debris left behind. I have no clue what this is. Look at that. There's some kind of mesh thing. If anybody knows, throw it in the comments. Love to hear what you think this is. Whoa, look at that. All those tubes would have gone down to holes. Huh. No clue. Wow. There's also cables that we're finding around here. Lane is just moving the dinghy because that tide is coming out fast. And we're just going to go up into the trees and see maybe where they homesteaded. Out on that point.
That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Okay, this is heaven. It's like a field of moss. I'm straight up here, Blaine. Hey, look what I found here. That's cool. Look at that. Spikes of something. Very cool. Found a path. Oh, look at that. I came up through the trees. Good job on the dinghy. Look at this thing.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
It looks pretty spiky.
I don't know what it is. What do you think?
Log dog?
I don't know. It's cool. Oh no, it was 100 years ago. Everything's probably gone back to nature.
Yeah.
I probably built a homestead down here. It's pretty protected right in here.
Yeah. Ooh.
Some trees look cut up here.
Yeah.
So this tree is cut down. But check out this culturally modified tree. So sometimes they just take the bark off of it and they use the bark for handicrafts, canoes, building. Again, any First Nations people out there would know better than I do. I'm only repeating what I've read. But let's see, I'll show you. See, they cut it right here, and they peel it very carefully so the tree doesn't die, and then the tree heals itself. I like the idea. It's a lot more respectful to nature, where you work in harmony with nature versus us settlers that just chop down trees. So you can see this stump here that's been gouged out. And I think that's where they put their planks in to stand on to chop the tree higher up. Just my guess. It's beautiful here though. So instead of looking for more homesteads, remnants of corrals because I think everything's kind of gone back to nature. We are going to try and make it the way back to Tongaroa.
Should be probably not a lot of fun.
No, but first I want to see what Blaine thinks of this drum and what it is. Because it's kind of cool.
It's very drummy.
It is drummy, Blaine. This looks like it was an old mooring buoy. They use that as the weight.
Could be.
I don't know what it is. Some type of block.
Big chunk of cast iron.
And then they had the rope on it. And that's where a mooring buoy was, probably. But look at this drum, Blaine. Look at all the pipes in there, eh?
Almost like a boiler or something.
A boiler of some sort? Isn't it wild?
Heat exchanger?
I don't know. It's huge though.
Looks like a heat exchanger.
For what?
I don't know. Something very big.
Very big. Wow.
Well, it might have been a boiler of some sort for water circulation. The way that those tubes run through, it definitely seems like there was a separation there for water.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what a heat exchanger on a boat looks like. Like even if you open up ours today, it would be tubes like that through and then a place for water to flow around the outside. So that's my guess. It's some sort of boiler.
Huh. I think it's a good guess. I think Blaine did the right thing. Taking the dinghy off the beach. We would have been high and dry and that would have been a bitch to get the dinghy off. Because look at, that's the beach we were at first. And it's high and dry. Good, smart husband. Always thinking ahead, watching the tide. Which is what you have to do when we've got 14-foot tides here.
I think currently that's the when it's a big tide. Because the tide usually does like one big run and then it does like a little small tide change at the top and then another big drop.
I think we're on a big run right now.
We're going to go back up through the middle of the islands while we have some protection and then kick off from there.
Plus we can go past where all the other homesteads are and show you. And the horse corral. Or you just want to watch us get absolutely soaking wet on a dinghy ride back to Tongaroa. History schmistery. Let's see if they survive. Already.
We're not even in it yet.
What?
We're not even in it yet.
I don't know. You're the captain. So if you see that shore, we're going to head right for that shore. It's the closest shore, and then we're going to tuck right in, which is called the lee, and we're going to work our way back to Tongaroa. That's the plan. Wish us luck. Good news, we made it kind of across. Now we're to the shore. We're just going to pop our way along the shore back to Tongaroa. Much calmer in by shore. Good driving, Blaine. Whew. I was a bit scared coming back out here.
I was concerned, but it didn't end up being that bad.
What is it? Oh, it's a dead fish, Blaine. It's a fish head.
Ah, roly poly fish head.
That's a fish head, a big fish. I want to catch a big fish like that. I'm surprised an eagle hasn't picked that up. That was looks like a rockfish.
Maybe that's what's left of what an eagle picked up.
That was really bright red. Something bright red here, we're not sure what it is, so we gotta go check it out. Like, it is really bright red. It's almost like someone has painted a mark.
It's like lichen or something.
Yeah, lichen or spray paint.
Not sure what they'd be spray painting here.
That is really wild. I don't know, babe.
Very red.
Very, very red. Don't know. Again, if anybody knows, throw it down below. Educate us. Because that was kind of cool, but no clue what it is. You probably can't see it, but there's 2 swans, 3 swans right there. 4. And a waterfall. We found a waterfall. That's pretty, Blaine. It's flowing almost more than Lacey Falls was.
Yeah.
Saying it's flowing almost more than Lacey Falls was.
Certainly more white there.
That's pretty. I'll go all the way up.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to scare the swans, but really that's the direction we're going. Tongaroa again. We were cold, soaked, and more than ready for dry clothes and a hot chocolate with Baileys. But first, we had to pull up the crab trap. Any guesses if we caught anything? You're right, nothing. Crabbing's getting the best of us, but fingers crossed for better luck at the next anchorage. Hope you enjoyed our adventure to the Burdwood Group. It was a little bit
bumpy.
Crazy, but we had so much fun. And now it's time to chocolate Baileys for our next adventure stop. Okay. Thanks for watching.
And find the feeling in my fingertips.
Oh yeah, that too. If you like this adventure, you'll love the time we stumbled into a hidden bay filled with unexpected finds. Old golf clubs, beach treasures, and even ancient petroglyphs. You never know what you'll find out here. Give it a watch next.